Hi, everybody. Welcome or welcome back if this is not your first time here. My name is Maria. I am a Romanian knitter who lives and knits or knit in Norway since May 2022. And welcome to a new knitting podcast episode. I don't exactly remember the number. Maybe it's 7, maybe it's 8, maybe it's 9 of my season 2 knitting podcast. Today it is Thursday, September 17th, and I don't work today. And it has been a couple of weeks since my last episode, and I thought, you know what? Today is a good day to make a new episode. So, welcome or welcome back. I'm so happy to have somebody to chat about my knitting. Let's see. For today's episode, I will talk about, I think, two finished objects and three, or if I have the time, four works in progress. But three of them are my most active projects and in different stages to be finished. Yes, it is a rainy day. You might be able to see on my window it's raining, and I have been out because if you have been here before, you might heard me saying that I'm working at a kindergarten, and today was the day that I had to buy rain clothes. Yes, I had to buy a rain jacket and rain pants, and I was postponing to do this because, yeah, I'm working at the kindergarten since this December last year. And the only reason was that I just hate this type of clothing. Okay, I might be, yeah, weird, but I feel depressed when I need to wear this type of clothing. However, the job is coming with many hours every day outside with the children, and I'm done with being wet. Yes. So I thought, you know what? I have a little bit more than an hour to make a new episode. So let's start with my first finished object. It is this one that I am wearing. I'm not standing up because I have things in front of me, but I will try to insert pictures as always. And if I have a B-roll, I will also insert that. This is a self-drafted top-down raglan sweater in a fingering yarn. It is something I wanted for a long time, or at least months. And now I have it, and I could not be more happy about it. I'm not gonna lie, this was not a difficult project. Well, it was a difficult because I self-drafted this. So it's not like, I'm following something and just knit, and okay, I'm done. So I had to think some steps, to overthink some steps. I had to rip back a few times. But in the end, it's done, and I could not be more happy. So, as I've said, this is a top down raglan, but I didn't start in the round, and I did not start with the neckline. So, this is an afterward neckline, it's double folded. So I cast on a number of stitches, and I started to work back and forth. But when I cast on the stitches for the fronts of the sweater, I had just one stitch for each one. And at the same time with my raglan increases, I was increasing for the fronts at the beginning of every row. Until I reach a number of stitches, and when I thought, okay, this is time to join in the round. When joining in the round, I also cast on a number of stitches for the fronts right here in the middle, and then I went just like a normal raglan. I stopped with the increases for the sleeves. I think I have for the body like 3 extra raglan rows, and that saved me with, I think I had like, I don't know, less with at least 6 if not 8 stitches for the sleeves, because I did not want wide sleeves. Of course, these are not super fitted sleeves, but it has enough room to have something with long sleeve underneath, like this dress. This is a long sleeve dress, and it does not feel uncomfortable. It's perfect. I think I can use this word for the sleeve, how it feels. Yeah, and before splitting the stitch sleeves from the body and continue with the body, I've done short rows, and it makes a whole lot of difference. Of course, the way the sweater is constructed, it can be considered also not like a short row effect, but kind of by increasing for the fronts at the beginning of every row, that made the back higher than the fronts. But adding the short rows before splitting the sleeves from the body just made this even better in terms of fitting. Now, I knew I wanted a raglan thin sweater for my linen dresses, because I have a couple of sweaters in my wardrobe, but almost, I think with the exception of another one, which is a little bit thicker than this one, actually is a decay weight. The others that I have are iron or worsted, so they are very thick. Now, when winter comes, it is a little bit uncomfortable to have a thick genser, it's sweater in Norwegian, to have a thick sweater underneath my winter coat. I mean, it's quite uncomfortable. It's either my dress and the winter coat, or my dress and a very thick sweater. I cannot have both. So since winter, I was thinking I need to make more thin sweaters, but just a simple sweater. And I've said in a previous episode, there are so many beautiful raglan sweaters, but I just didn't feel I felt I did not have the patience to try on another pattern. And I thought, you know what, I will invest time no matter what. So I could invest this time to make my own self-drafted raglan sweater. So maybe if it will be a success, I can reknit this self-drafted pattern in different yarns, the same weight, of course, and different colors, and for my needs and for my already huge linen dresses collection. And I'm so glad I invested time. I think I've started this in June. I talked about it in my last episode, previous episode, and I won't keep repeating myself. But a short version, I started this thinking that I will knit in the car when traveling to Romania and back to Norway. But the fact that I was driving, knitting was non existent. Yeah, and it took me a while because I finished this, I think, last week, in the first week of September. Of course, I didn't work at this every day because it was quite, I wouldn't say overwhelming. I think I was losing patience because I thought, I'm working so much in this weather, but where is the progress? Yeah, but it's finished. It's finished, and I could not be more happy. There are some things that I might have just rushed, like this folded neckline. I think it is, I don't know if it is visible. It's a little bit, it's not perfectly overlap. It's a little bit twisting. I don't know if in this or this direction, but I cannot be bothered to unravel because it's not something that bothers me. It is not that noticeable. And if I can live with this, I guess everybody else can. Everybody who is seeing this neckline. Yeah, it is quite high. I mean, high. It's not high on neck. It's higher folded one by one ribbing neckline that I am usually doing, but that's because this type of construction allowed me to make this beautiful neckline, which is high in terms of, yeah, I don't know, visually, but it's not sitting high on my neck. So that's, yeah, I think it's a very nice, good looking neckline. What I'm talking about, yeah, but it's true. This is how I feel. And so this is something I need to pay more attention. Next time I will do this sweater because yes, I will do it again. I have the numbers in my mind. I think I started to take some notes, but I gave up. I had so many things to do in my holiday and before, and just couldn't find time to sit and write everything. But the numbers are in my mind. Even the number of decreases, even the number of short rows I've made. And if I need to remember how many raglan row increases I have, I can count on the sweater. So yeah. Initially, I've made a folded, very long, I mean 10 centimeters hem, which means I had to work like 20 centimeters in one by one ribbing using 2mm needles. Can you imagine? This took like forever, and then took like forever to sew that thing. And when I tried it on, I didn't like how it looked on me. I think on somebody with a very small waist would have been wonderful, but I'm everything but a small waist. So I have 92 centimeters. So it's not a small waist. So it didn't look great on me. I don't know what was in my mind. I don't know how I envision myself with like that, which does not exist on my body. So I had to not rip back because I just, yeah, there was no time to unravel the sewing and then unravel the hem and then continue the body. I just cut and attach new yarn, and I've made like 5 extra centimeters in stockinette stitch, and then I've made the hem. So maybe I will stand up a little bit. So I like to wear it like this, but actually the sweater, it looks like this. And I didn't try this on with a skirt. I think it's a little bit shorter to be worn with a skirt, but I will try it at some point. Now, this time for the hem, 1x1 ribbing hem, I did not want to go down in the needle size because the main sweater is made with 3mm. I thought, what can I do to not end up with a sloppy hem, but to not kill my fingers with 2mm needles and more than 200 stitches. So I thought about it, and I said, you know what, I will give it a try to this hem also with 3mm needles. But I changed to the 60 centimeter circular needles, which will be like 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. I think 24 inches, I'm not sure, maybe. Because, of course, my number of stitches was bigger than those circular needles. I mean, they were gathered. But the fact that they were gathered allowed me to work very nice hem, and I think the effect on this hem is even better if I would have gone down a needle size, but in a bigger circumference. I don't know if this makes sense, but when you have so many stitches in a shorter circular needle, they stay together, and this is how do you say, is changing your tension. So your tension is tighter. Yeah, I think this is the what I was trying to explain. You already know that my English is not the greatest, but I hope it made sense. And I could say this is a tip if you want to use it, and it works super well. And I don't know why I didn't talk about it, because it's not the first time I'm doing this, but I think I never thought about it like a tip. I think the other times I was doing this, I was doing because of necessity, because I didn't had available longer circular needle. Yeah, I think, but it's a tip. If you don't want to go down with the needle size, you can use the same needle size, but you need to have a smaller circular needle in length, so the stitches can stay very, very gathered. And the effect, it is wonderful. And the reason is that this is an already fitted sweater. It's not having negative ease. It's having like maybe 1.5 centimeters positive ease, which is not that much. So I realized that considering the length I've made of the sweater, it is better that the hem does not cinch too much, but at the same time to cinch a little bit comparing to the rest of the body. I hope this makes sense. I've made a tubular bind off, and for the sleeves, I've made um, 16 rows in double knitting. Yes, and for this I went down to 2.5 for the cuffs, which are very short, are like 2, maybe 2.5 centimeters, almost 1 inch. And I do like the length of the sleeve. It's brace length. I love it. I love everything about this sweater. And what I love the most is that I end up with a garment that is more than wearable, that it looks nice, and all that effort and all those ripping back because it didn't look how I envisioned. It's so worth it now because now I have a personal formula to make more of this, and I'm so excited. I was just thinking this morning when I put this on my body, on me. I was just thinking, if I was to do another one, which yarn I am willing to use this time. And I thought, I'm so tempted to order some knitting for Olive Merino, the fingering. And I think I will do this. I just got a discount, 10% on email from them. And maybe I will use that and to buy me a new quantity. This is not weighing not even 300 grams. I had 7 balls in total, but I actually used 5 and a little bit more than half. So maybe it has like 270 grams, maybe, or maybe 280. It's unnoticeable. It is so light, it is so beautiful, and for today's weather, it was just perfect. We just had in the morning, this morning when I went in the little town next to us, there were like 13 degrees, and it was perfect when I stepped out my car. So because it's just a little bit windy, but it's not a cold wind, so it's just perfect. Yeah, I love it. And I love the color. I think it's such a beautiful color. I don't know for how long I talk about it, but I think I'm done with this because you might be bored already of me talking again and again about this sweater. But yeah, once again, I'm so happy I have it. I finished. I've self-drafted and it's impeccable. I have to say that I got inspired by another sweater that I will show you, which is in like it's not like, it is a work in progress. And I got inspired for this neckline. I love it so much, and I thought I want to have this in a sweater, and I have it. Yes, you might hear my voice different. That's because last week my son was so sick with fever, and immediately I got the virus from him, and I was so sick also. So we both were home last week and fighting fever and cough and everything else that comes with a virus. What can we do? So I'm making really, really huge efforts to not cough. Okay, I have another finished object that does not have buttons because I was lazy, to be honest. But I have some beautiful 5 metal buttons, which I love. And it was difficult this time to choose the buttons because it was difficult. There were too many options. And I don't even know if I talked about this project in my previous episode. I know I talk about it in an older episode, but I know I talk about it for my Romanian episode. But if I didn't, let me introduce you to my beautiful milk stowed cardigan. Guys, let's take a moment of appreciation for this handsome pattern. This is so beautiful. This is the front and this is the back of the cardigan. This makes my heart jump with joy that I've made it. In one of my older episodes, I've said and I've showed you that I've started this beautiful cardigan. The name of the pattern, it is Milk Stout Cardigan, and it is a pattern by Thea Coleman or Baby Cocktails on Ravelry. And back then, I was working this sweater using a thread of Peer Gynt from Sonnes Garn and a thread of alpaca Fölgetreu also from Sonnes Garn. So those two together. By the time I was like maybe 5 centimeters to finish the body, I realized I did not like the yarn and the size I've chosen. So let's talk about a little bit of this amazing good looking knitting pattern. This is a bottom up construction. I loved every detail about this pattern in terms of knitting techniques to build this cardigan. This is my first pattern from Thea Coleman, but I can assure you that this is not my last. Actually, my next cast on, it will be a wonderful sweater from the same designer, but I won't talk about it this episode. So this is a bottom up. First, you make the sleeves. It has a cable cast on, which for my first try was a little bit uncomfortable, but then when I've made this, it went fast and perfect. So I guess it's a practice thing. The more you practice, the better you manage to do something. So you start with the cuffs, let's say, and then you continue. Everything it is in one by one ribbing. You increase, and then after you reach your length, you stop. The first modification I've made, and I'm so happy, I've made the length of the sleeves that I know I like when working top down. Even if this is bottom up. The fact is that I've made my sleeve with 6 centimeters shorter than the pattern recommends, and I could not be more happy because with washing this already stretched, and even if it was not meant to fold this, although you have this option, now I'm folding this. So yeah, I shortened the sleeve with 6 centimeters. For me, my ideal length, because I love brace length sleeves, it's 42 centimeters from underarm up to where the cuff is ending. Okay, So you make the sleeves and then you put stitches on hold and work the body. So the sleeves are made in the round, is circular, but the body is worked back and forth up to underarm. And you have one of these beautiful cable panel section on each front, and you have two panel sections on the back. And then on the in between you have a one by one ribbing section. I love everything about this pattern. It's a little bit different mine because the other modification I've made was to work this double knitted bottom band and collar or neckline. The original pattern has a garter stitch bottom band and neckline that it's folded. Yeah, it's folded, which is very beautiful. I've said this every time I talked about this pattern, but I don't think on long term that is something that will keep the shape. And considering the fact that I am wearing my knits every single day of my life, that means that this one will get a lot of wear, and I want to have it for a long time. I don't want to go back and take out the garter stitch neckline and bottom band and to redone them because they grew or they are sloppy and they don't sit right. So that this is the reason I've made this modification. For my first try, and I hope I was smart enough to put a picture with the first try, I choose to make size 6. This time I've made size 3. And I think I could have done size 2. This is something I need to remember for the next time because I would love to have this in a brown color, to be honest. But not now, of course, not now. But if I will make this again, I hope to remember to make size 2 if I will use the same yarn. In terms of yarn, when I took the decision to not finish my first try with this cardigan, I took also a lot of time to think, okay, what yarn I can use, because what's happening with this pattern, it is that the pattern is designed for a specific yarn. I don't remember the name, but I hope to put it on the screen. It's something I think they make in Canada, I'm not sure. However, the designer is mentioning in the pattern that this yarn that is recommended for this cardigan has 0 stretch or elasticity, which means that what you need is what you get. I mean, there is no chances to, I don't know, in case you need an extra 1 or 2 centimeters to say, okay, I will pull this when washing and it will grow. No, it won't. So that was a huge problem for me. A huge problem deciding what yarn I can use. And then I thought, okay, let's think about everything I have in my knitted wardrobe and let's think what is the yarn that it grows with washing. It's blooming. And immediately in my mind was Fivel from Reuma, the Norwegian producer. And Fivel, it is lamb's wool. and it's having this look of blown yarn, which is not a blown yarn, but it's, yeah, it's growing with washing, but not necessarily stretching. It's the yarn that is blooming, and how do you say it? It's like feeling something. Yeah, I'm afraid I won't explain this right, but it's yeah, it. This is the yarn transforms with washing. And I thought, you know what, I will use this yarn because I can rely on this yarn. I know how it behaves. And then I looked on sizes. Technically, giving the measurements in the pattern, if I would have had used that yarn that recommends the designer, size 3 would be extremely small for me. I think size 3 was of for a bust circumference of, I don't know, maybe 19 something or something like that. But with the changing of the yarn and knowing how this yarn is behaving, and I'm sure my yarn was bulkier than the recommended yarn, I thought I will make size 3, even if when I started, I actually started with size 4. But when working the sleeves, I was looking at the number of stitches I need to cast on for the body, and I thought, you know what, I'm not sure size 4 is for me. And then I remember, oh, just wait a second, I've made a Dagmar sweater using this yarn, and I've made the Dagmar sweater in size 2. Dagmar sweater, it is a pattern from Petite Knit. If there is somebody who don't know, I will put a picture. And I've used the same number of needles like for this cardigan, 4.5. And that one has also a honeycomb cable and has a geometrical cable. And I thought, you know what, I will go at the pattern and say and see how many stitches I had for the body. And I went and I saw that for the Dagmar, I think I had like a little bit under 10 stitches less than for the cardigan. And this is how I decided what size to do. I thought, okay, I will do size 3. And considering that the Dagmar sweater, it is a sweater, and this is a cardigan, I will have to add the bottom bands. So if this is stretching, I will end up with a little bit of positive ease. And I did, guys. I hope you saw the pictures I put here, because since when I took the picture was the first time I was wearing this, and after wearing, I could say this relaxed a lot. Yeah, I cannot tell you how much mentally this pattern took for me because of feeling blind. Yeah, I think this is the word. I didn't knew what I am doing. And although I was reading through the pattern, because it's a construction I have never done before this way, I just couldn't understand the numbers in terms of if they will work or not for me. So I was risking with this cardigan throughout all the process of making it. Now, like the first time I post this and the second time I post this project with my yarn changing and size, again the designer said that I should pay attention to the saddle shoulder. So let's see. As I've said, you make the sleeve circular and then you make the body back and forth, and then you join sleeves with the body and continue back and forth. And first you have a section without decreases, and then you have a raglan section, and then you work the saddle shoulder here. And this is how it's looking at the back. And another problem I had, oh, I didn't mention, I did not gauge swatch. No way. However, I knew, since I've made the sleeves, that I have a different row gauge. So I needed less rows to reach the length the designer said in the pattern for each steps, because this yoke has 3 steps. And she also says in the pattern that, yeah, depending on what size you choose to make, and because, you know, we have different length torso, we have different arm circumference, we have different wide shoulders or not, that, you know. And she says in the pattern that you can shape the yoke also on the wrong side, because normally you decrease just on the front side for the raglan and for the saddle. But because I was not on the same row gauge, if I would have followed exactly the pattern, I would have probably I would probably now had a double in length yoke. I mean, wow. So again, I didn't knew what I was doing, and I couldn't try it yet at the beginning. And I think I've made just like for each step, just like I think 4 or 5 raglan decreases, for example, just on the front side, and then I was making on both sizes just to get rid of the stitches. And at the same time, you are shaping the front. As you can see, this is a V-neck, but it's such a different V-neck. It is a more rounded V-neck, if we can say so. So you have decreases starting, let me see, where is my last button band, a buttonhole, yeah, starting here you begin to decrease. Now another thing I didn't consider, because there were so many things to decide about this cardigan. As you can see, this is not the best looking part here. And mainly because I didn't realize, when you follow the pattern and you decide to make the same collar that will fold outside, the collar is coming here and is covering this part. But because I don't have that collar, it's looking a little bit, I don't know, a little bit weird. But again, it's not something I dislike. It's not something that makes me not wearing this cardigan. No way, no way. I love it. Okay, so I kept the numbers. I decreased exactly the number of stitches the pattern says, but more rapidly. And I've done this also with the saddle shoulder, which I love the look of it. I have been doing saddle shoulder before, but not this type, not from bottom up. And I've made it bottom up, but I've made it by pieces, and I worked the saddle actually as an extension of the sleeve, and then I sewn everything, but not, yeah, but not this way, like for this pattern. I'm so excited, guys, because I feel like these patterns hold so many beautiful details that allows you to personalize your garment according to your not only preferences but your own body. And I think this is something exceptionally wonderful. And I highly recommend you to give it a try to Thea Coleman or Baby Cocktails. I'm not paid to say this. This is not an ad. But it's a designer that puts so much knowledge in her patterns, and you learn so much. Yeah, as I've said, I'm so excited to explore more of Thea Coleman designs. About the double knitted bottom band, I picked up one stitch for out of every row. I can tell you I had like 300 and something stitches, more than 300. And then I had 12 stitches. I cast on 12 stitches for the width of the double knitted bottom band and neckline. And what I did, and it's the first time I'm doing this, is while working the double knitted bottom band and neckline, after every 7 right side rows, on 8th row, I was, when you reach the end of the row on the front side, you need to knit the last stitch that you have on your bottom band together with one stitch that you picked up. Well, I was actually knitting 3 stitches through the back loop. This way I was decreasing an extra stitch on every 8th right side row. And this way I prevented this to be, what is the word, a little bit sloppy. And it worked so great. But when I reached the middle of the back here, I didn't. So I worked normally. Why I didn't? Because I've done this before and I felt like it's pulling inward. It's pulling inside, not inside. It's not stretching. It's pulling, I think. So it's uncomfortable here on my neck, on the back. And this time I didn't do it. And I'm so happy. I have 5 buttonholes that I need to sew my buttons. But guys, I'm so happy to have this. I'm so happy I didn't give up on this pattern. And look how beautiful these cables are. I feel this is so classy. This is so, it has this, you know what, it's funny because this is not a new pattern. It's so wonderful to realize that this is a pattern that was launched in 2014, 11 years ago, guys, 11 years ago. And look how modern and actual is looking this pattern. So I think this is a gem. This is a gem. I like to say to those knitting patterns that really felt special for me, to consider them like a gem pattern, knitting pattern. And this is one of them. And I could not be more happy. I love the color. I love the size I've chosen, although I could have done size 2 without a problem. I love it. I love the length. It's for my dresses. It is very warm. I got 11 balls. One ball of Fivel from Raroma is 50 grams. So I had 550 grams, but I actually used just 9 balls. So the total weight of my cardigan, it's 450 grams. Yes. I think that's all I had to say about this beauty. It is already linked in my Ravelry. The problem is, guys, that I don't have any notes. I was so concentrating and so overthinking this pattern that I forgot to write on Ravelry what I have done. And now I know what I have done, but I don't know exactly how many times, for example, I decreased on the wrong side. And this is a stupid thing, because if I want to make this again, I will go through the same stress. Yeah. How silly is this? I just didn't even realize to take a few notes on paper just to see from round this to round this. I decreased on both sides, and that's it. I didn't do this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because it's not just on the raglan and the saddle that I've decreased also on the wrong side. I decreased also here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is such a stupid thing, and it's yeah. If I want to make this again, I will need to go through the same overthinking process of this project, which is not nice, to be honest. I spoke so much about these two projects. Now I need to change, and to change, I need to talk about. Okay, works in progress. I will start with the oldest. One of my oldest works in progress. It is the Christmas jumper I've started in December last year, and I never managed to finish. So this is the Julegenser 2024 by Sandnes Garn. As you can see, it has a similar neckline as my raglan. Actually, my raglan has a similar neckline because this was my model, my inspiration. This was a kit, let's say, yeah, because I didn't get only the pattern, I also got the yarn. So this is made in Sandnes Garn Tin Pirgint, which is a favorite. I don't love Pirgint, but I do love Tin Pirgint. This is a top-down raglan color work. It is so intense, guys. It is, I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot of work, a lot of knitting, a lot of rows with 3 colors in a row. Even, I don't remember if I have 4. I think at some point I might have 4 colors in a row. This is hard. This takes forever. However, in January, I was just at the first sleeve. I just picked up stitches and done a few rows. Now, I finished the first sleeve up to where I need to start my cuff, because it's a long cuff. It will be 10-12 centimeters in 1x1 ribbing. And I stopped here. I don't do this usually. I don't break the yarn and start the next sleeve, but I knew I just had to do this. If I want to finish this, I need to pick up for the sleeves now, for the second sleeve, because it's a little bit of mess because you pick up in color work. You have this reindeer here motif, and I just need to work 3 more color work repeats, this and this one, and then to make the cuff. I have a problem because I don't even have it here. I lost it. Yeah, I might have lost it. I have like maybe 2-3 grams of the green, and I got the quantity that the pattern said, 50 grams. Well, it's not enough. I'm making size 3, so it's not enough. But there is no way I will buy another 50 grams ball of yarn just to use 5 grams. So I have an idea in my stash what I could use, and I will go for that because, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, so as I've said, size 3, no modifications. I work according to the pattern. And again, this is a lot of work. I'm very proud to say I don't have ends to wave in, because once I finished with the first sleeve, I just went and wave in everything, and now I'm waving as I go, and the body was already waved in, and that's such a relief because the number of ends for this sweater, oh, there are so many. I mean, I think just for the sleeves I had dozens. I think at least, I don't know, 30 and something, if not more. Imagine for the body. Yeah, so this is where I am with this. This was supposed to be finished last week and this week, but to be honest, I just needed a little bit of break from it because I just couldn't stand it. But it's true, I worked a lot when I was sick. Yes. So sometimes it's not everything bad about being with a cold, you know. You can do progress on very old whips. I'm so done with Christmas sweater. I swear, I will choose a special project for December because it's something I like to do. But I really hope to be careful and not to choose another Christmas sweater because I want to make something to wear the year long, not only on Christmas, you know. So there is nothing else to say about it. I just hope that next time I will make a knitting podcast episode to show you this as a finished object because I'm so ready to finish this. I'm so ready to have this finished and yeah, not have it in a bag. It's sitting in a bag for 10 months now. I think it's time for me to put my big girl pants and finish this because, yeah. So this is an intense project. It's not necessarily hard as a technique if we exclude the fact that it's color work, and yeah, this is already hard, but it's, yeah, there are a lot of colors in a row, and the more you have, the more time it takes to finish it, and yeah, it's not a comfortable project, that's for sure. So this is my first work in progress. My next project that got a lot of attention, it is my book club sweater by Sari Norlund. Oh, this is such a delightful project, and I've made some progress this week. I managed to finish the fronts, and now I'm working in the round. For this beauty, I am doing size 3. I went on size 3 because from her, I've made the Billy cardigan and the Alvar sweater pullover, and I've made also size 3, and size 3 works for me on her patterns. And also I want to have this for dresses, and for dresses I don't need sweaters with the 20 centimeters of positive ease, that's for sure. And I'm so excited to make more progress on this, although I absolutely love to work on this. It's so mindless now that I'm in the round and I memorize the chart, so I really don't need to look on the chart when working this. So it's absolutely wonderful. Yes, I just need to put some needles that are shorter. These are my, I think, 80, but I'm very comfortable to work this on 60 centimeters long circular needles. But I've done, I didn't have the cord, so now I have it and I just need to change it. Yeah, my Chiago. Yes, the yarn I am using is one thread Isire tweed, which is fingering, and one thread alpaca one, also from Isire. Alpaca one is color E0, I think, yes. And the other one is color raw white. Yeah, it does not have a number, so this is raw white, which is a more in the yellow, as a yellow side, and this is more creamy. Yeah, so I'm using these two together and I'm working on the body, and it's such a delightful project. I love this color so much, and the yarns together, they feel wonderful. I have used this combo before and I know I will love it. It's wonderful. It's a little bit rustic, as I like, and it will be such a wonderful acquisition. I know I've said I don't want to buy more dresses, but here I am. I just found 2 dresses. I will receive 3 dresses, but one it's a gift from the seller. How generous somebody can be. Can you imagine how generous somebody can be to say it? I will send this to you. I don't want you to pay for it. So she was waiting for me more than a month to pay for the dresses because after holidays I didn't work in July. I started maybe at middle of August, and I just got my income after months in September. And anyway, I have such a small income that we don't talk about it. So I've said I want those so much. There are 2 dresses from Pine and Smith, linen dresses that are very good, second hand, very good price. And then the Not Perfect Linen made a new collection, and I wanted so bad to print from their new collection, and my husband told me that, okay, you need to take them and I will help you to pay for them. So I feel so privileged, to be honest. I feel so privileged. I cannot believe that I managed in almost 2 years to build a linen and wool wardrobe for myself. And this slow fashion thing, guys, this is everything but cheap. Yeah. But it's true that because I buy yarn to knit garments and when I can, I buy dresses, secondhand or new. I don't buy that many new. I think from Not Perfect Linen, my last order, I think it was in December last year, so almost 1 year ago, because they are expensive, and that I discovered this second-hand opportunity, and I got only beautiful dresses, almost new dresses at this second-hand um, selling. And yeah, I didn't want to invest in new dresses, but now I will wait from them 2 new dresses. And this sweater will go with all the dresses I am waiting. Yes. So I've said size 3, 4 millimeter needles. This is a top down drop shoulder construction. You start at the back and you shape the back. It increases on every row at the beginning and at the end. So you shape also on the back of the fabric. Yeah, and it features this cable with sit stitch in the middle, and this is a very easy every 4 row cable. Yeah, it's wonderful, and we have more sit stitch on the sides. Yeah, I cannot wait to make more progress on this beauty. Yes, my third work in progress, it was not even in my plan in the last episode. However, this is a sweater that was on my wishful knits for 2025. Let me see the name of the pattern because I'm not able to memorize it. So this is the, oops. This is the Windermere sweater by Coco Amour Knitwear. And this is a top-down half fisherman rib raglan sweater. And let me show you what I have so far. I'm not sure about this color, but here we go. So you need to start with a number of stitches and work the neckline and then fold it. I skipped this part. I cast on and started immediately with short rows and then raglan increases. That's because I wanted a very small neckline, although it looks like it's unfinished. And I also made short rows on the neckline, so at the back it's higher and at the front it's lower. Yeah, because it's how I prefer. And I am just, I think, 3 rows away to start my tubular bind off on the hem. And then I will pick up for the sleeves. I'm making size 2. I'm using a 4.5 millimeter needles, just like the pattern recommends. I did not swatch for this, but I tried it on and it's what I want. So that's that. I don't have that much positive ease, but I think this sweater will change with washing, not only because of the nature of the half fisherman rib, which is a very bouncy stitch. It's like the brioche stitch. So it has volume, which means that with washing it can grow. It's absolutely normal. But also because of the yarn I am using. So I'm using a yarn that is similar to Holzgarn. If you don't know Holzgarn, they are Danish producer, I think, and they produce wool, and it's a very affordable wool. This one is not from, I forgot the name, Holzgarn now. This is from Knoll Yarns, and they are based in UK. And it's a yarn that comes with cones, but I just got what I needed. I don't have a cone. At the store, they made this ball for me. So initially, I got this to make a Monday sweater because I told you that I wanted something light. But in the meantime, I decided that I don't want to make Monday sweater. I want to make my own recipe, and I did it. So I thought, okay, let's see how I can use this yarn. Now, this technically it is a heavy sweater because half fisherman rib, of course, it uses more yarn than, for example, stockinette stitch. And initially, I started to make this sweater using the Gjeldjøt spinnery, Ull spinnery. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. It's the yarn that I got in Denmark this summer. And it's the yarn that Petite Knit is promoting with a lot of her patterns, which is a wonderful wool. But I very soon realized, and I was almost to finish the raglan part, when I realized the yarn and the sweater will be too heavy, and I will have the same problem. I have enough chunky sweaters. I want something lighter. And then I had this yarn in my stash for months, and I thought, you know what, I will use this yarn. The only thing I'm not sure is about the color. I don't know, but it's in the same range with this, what I'm wearing now, and I think it will be okay. I'm hoping. For me, this was a very fast project. I have to say, extremely fast. I mean, I didn't expect it, to be honest. I really didn't expect it, but it was, and I'm happy. I might change the sleeves decreases because, again, I don't want a wide sleeve. I don't know. It's a very well written pattern, and I hope to end up with a beautiful result. Another modification, not modification, I've changed to 1x1 ribbing, normal, regular, for all the details like hem and neckline, and I think I will make double knitted cuffs. In the pattern you have twisted rib, which I don't want, and I don't have it. Yes. And this yarn I'm holding double because this is a lace weight, and it's very affordable price talking. I think I had 350 grams, and I think I paid under 40 euro, which I think it's great for a sweater quantity. And I know I won't use it all. Oh, my throat. And it's a shame because I don't like to have leftovers, but I think I will gift, oh, sorry, I will gift what I will have extra after I'm finishing the project to somebody in Romania who can try it, and if she wants to use it, she knows about it and I can buy it for her later. The smell is whoo, because this yarn, when knitting with this yarn, it feels, actually it's not feeling, it is very dry, and it has a lot of spinning oil, which is not helping me with my throat now. Oh my lord. Yes, this is my third work in progress. Of course, I have other whips, but they are waiting their turn. But I just started something that I would really love to have it until next month. So Again, this is a yarn. I have it for months in my stash, and I started to make a self-drafted, no, not a self-drafted, yeah, stockinette stitch cardigan, and I unraveled because it was not what it was supposed to be. But I saw, sorry, I saw a new pattern on Instagram, and I love it so much. I like the look of it, and I envision myself wearing this cardigan with my linen dresses. And the name of the cardigan, it is the comeback cardigan. Comeback, comebackigan. Comebackigan. I thought it was the comeback cardigan. It's from Andrea Rene Knits. And it's this, I think I will put a picture on the screen because you cannot see very well here. It has this beautiful texture that it is made with knits and pearls, and I love it. It is a bottom-up construction, and this is actually the first pocket because yes, I want to have pockets. And the yarn I am using, it is Aroma Finule, and this is the color 4076. Is this ochre, very now color, autumnal color, and I will love to have this. I will love to have this. Yeah, I will love to. And I have only 5 balls, so I should check in my local store if I can get at least 2 more to have enough. But I'm hoping to find the same dye lot. Yes. And this will be a light cardigan. So this is work bottom up. You work the sleeves, you work the body, and then you join them and you continue back and forth. And it has raglan, a raglan yoke, so you must decrease to shape it. And I will make, of course, double knitted band, but it has, the pattern has double knitted bottom band and neckline, and it is a V neck shape cardigan. And I'm making, I don't even remember, I think I didn't decide what size to make because obviously I'm not using the same yarn. I think my yarn is a little bit thinner than the pattern recommends. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, so the recommended yarn, it is a sport weight woolen spoon wool, and it has 50 grams and 250 meters. Mine is having 50 grams and 175 meters. So maybe mine is thicker than what the pattern recommends. So the suggested yarn, it is North Bay Fiber Heritage Sport. Yeah, but I'm not using that. And the suggested needles are 3.75, but I'm using 3.5 because I like more finule, this yarn, with 3.5 than 3.7. Also, although this is blooming, this is like a Fivel thinner version of yarn. Yes, and actually this is the front. I don't know if you can see. How nice is this? Yes, and this is my last work in progress, which is not that much to show, but I will really, really love to make this. And I have another cardigan on my wish list, and I have the yarn for it, and it's also an autumnal color. It's, yeah, but I don't know where or when I will be able to cast on that. Maybe if I'm finishing the half fisherman rib sweater and the Christmas sweater and make a little bit more progress on my book club sweater, maybe I will cast on the other cardigan. Although the autumn will not be here anymore by the time I will finish that cardigan, but I can have it for the spring and for the next fall, autumn. We shall see. And I need to reconsider what other whips I have on my needles, because I don't know if I want to finish them all. There are things that I'm not sure that I want them anymore, at least not now in my wardrobe. And I don't see the point to have them as a whips when I can use the yarn to make something else. But I also have a wonderful cardigan, my one that I've made before, and I want to finish it because it's too beautiful to not have it. I already have one version, but it's in a bigger size. Yes, I think that's all for knitting content. I hope that it won't become a boring episode for you. And I hope you had a good time knitting and listening. Life is good. Thank God. We are so privileged. Yeah, we are privileged. We work hard, but at the same time, comparing to other people, I think we have a very good life. Nothing to complain about it. My son had birthday in August, so I have a 16 years old person in the house, and it was wonderful. I baked and cooked a lot because he had a lot of colleagues and friends coming, and they were like, I don't know, 11, 12 maybe. Imagine, we live in such a tiny, 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 tiny little house. And but it was nice. It was very nice. He was very happy, and his friends had a good moment here with us, and yeah, it was wonderful. And I've been on knitting. How do you say? For our boat mini cruise in Bergen a few weeks ago, actually on 31st August. It was a very rainy day. I went alone, and of course I recognized people, but I even say hi, but I didn't get an answer back, but that's okay. And I chose a table, a place where was nobody else. And in the meantime, two nice ladies came and asked if they can sit. And I said, of course. And it was actually a very pleasant 4 hours. We talk a lot, we knit with, yeah. I don't know if we will meet again, maybe. Who knows? But what I want to say is that, yeah, how do you say this without sounding like you are complaining or criticizing? So, when moving to another country, of course, there are good things and sometimes not that pleasant things. And not that pleasant things, it means that you move to a place where you know nobody. You know nobody, you don't speak the language, you don't understand at the beginning the culture and how things works, and what it needs to be done to feel home and to feel part of the situation. And we have a little bit more than 3 years since we moved here. And with this mini cruise, I just realized that I am tired. I am tired to throw myself in all kind of events, always dreaming, hoping, wishing to make friends, other needing friends. I don't know if you realize what, or I don't know if people of who are coming to these knitting gatherings, I don't know if they realize what it takes for a foreigner to come in a place where knows nobody, speaks the language but not that well, and being ignored. Sorry, guys, because this is the word. I know that many people say, no, we are shy. I, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't understand how things works. And I have my son, I have my husband, and I'm so happy. But sometimes we also need other people in our life. But for 3 years, I went to almost all the knitting cafes, all the almost gatherings, and I think I'm done with this. I think I cannot do this anymore because it feels like beginning again and again and again and again from zero with people. And this takes a lot mentally from me. And I don't know if I can expose like this myself anymore because it takes a lot. And yeah, I cannot do this anymore. I mean, I want so much to socialize, to have knitting friends, to make plans, to somebody to call me, to say, hi Maria, do you want us to meet? I have a little bit of free time. We can have coffee and chat a little bit and knit a little bit. Or somebody to write me to say, we are going to that knitting festival. Would you be interested? Would you like? Because, yeah, how can I be always the one who asks first? It's weird, isn't it? What can I do to go to the people to say, oh, please, can you invite me? No. And sometimes you can feel when people talks to you because it's polite to do it, and but they actually don't feel the need to talk to you. And this is very, yeah, it's hurting, it really hurts. Don't get me wrong. I'm not having nothing against people. I am a people person. And I think this is my problem here in Norway because I am a people person. I love being surrounded by people. I love to interact. I love to talk to the people. I love to do things with people. But yeah, I just need to accept that it's a different society, and I am a foreigner. So I am finally accepting that, yeah, I might never have friends here. And I don't have friends anymore in my country because years ago people didn't understood our situation with our son, and some people, when they don't understand something, they don't want to be part of it. Maybe they thought we expected something and they didn't knew what to give to us. I don't know, maybe they didn't have time at the time in their life for our situation. And then we moved here. First we moved in my own country in a different town, and then we moved here, and it's like, yeah, it's like we never existed. You know, when the communication stops, what can you think, right? So yeah, that's that. And this is the reason I started to make this podcast. At that time, the loneliness was already installed. And yeah, I thought, okay, I will give it a try. I need to go out and meet people. But it's not enough for me to want to meet people. If people, they don't want to meet you, they don't want to know you, you know. So don't get me wrong, people are very polite. But in my almost 44 years of life, I've learned a very special lesson. There is a huge difference in between being polite and being friendly. So polite, it's not the same with friendly. So I guess my running to all the knitting cafes that are having place in Bergen and around has ended with my mini cruise. I don't know if you realize what it means to be in a place with dozens of people sharing the same passion, but actually feeling that you are alone in that room and nobody else with you. And when I feel this, after a situation like this, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. It takes me a lot of time to feel motivated to do this again, putting myself in that situation of being always the newcomer. Yeah, I'm not willing to do this anymore. I don't want. I think I gave a lot of my time, my energy, and my willing, and I think I have nothing more to give. And it's just I need to accept that maybe I will never have friends here. I had a knitting friend, but if I don't message, she will never message me back. So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to. Um, I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I'm well, you know. I just need to rethink a little bit things and to accept some things, just to accept them because they are here, and there is not that much I can do to change them. although I wanted so bad I wanted. But yeah, it is what it is. And I'm done with stand alone knitting cafe. You know, I'm just done. So, what I will do next is to concentrate on my family, on making this podcast. At least I have you. So, um, that's not, this is not a small thing, it is huge. I know it's a cliche, and always I've said that I so much appreciate when you leave a comment, and I do. Now you know why. And again, I don't want nobody feel pity, to feel sorry for me. I'm good. It's just for somebody who is used to interact. It's very difficult to not interact, and it's not only on knitting cafes. It's on my job. It's on every other aspect in my life outside my family. Yes. So I have you. I will make this podcast whenever I will feel the need to speak about my knitting. I will take my phone and put one of my linen dresses and one of my garments and come here and talk to you. And yeah, it's like meeting with friends, isn't it? Yes, I think that's it. I'm sorry if I ended this episode in a very sad note. That's not, but somebody asked me about friends, and yes, the ones that we had in Romania, it's just, yeah, they are not here anymore, and um, I'm not upset because it's life, you know. I don't judge them, and I treasure all the years we had together as friends because they were wonderful. It doesn't matter if it was 1 or 20. Um, yeah, I think I will continue with my day. It's already almost 1 o'clock. I need to start to prepare lunch because in 2 hours my son will be home. And yeah, take a little bit of rest for the rest of the day, and maybe I will read a little bit. But I'm also hoping to finish this hem for today, so I can start with the sleeves. I hope you had a wonderful moment, or relaxing, and I hope you get inspired. Or yeah, if you have any question, please use the comment section. I'm always more than happy to answer. And I will see you next time with more progress on my projects. Wishing you a very, very good month ahead. And I will see you next time. Thank you, and bye bye.